Hey guys, it's Loves to Loom here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this super cute antique lace bracelet created by the wonderful Suzanne HB on YouTube. You can also find her on Instagram as Crazy Just Might Work. Definitely want to check her out and give her a follow. I'll have her link in the box below so you can do so. So this design I had so much fun with today. I think it's so cute, and there's so many other things I want to try like with the colors, but I wanted to get it filmed for you guys. But here is a little piece using regular opaque bands, and I mixed it up using some different colors. So if you wanted to see how that would look, that's that one there. And then we have the fabulous Persian one, which I used Persian bands and the silicone gold in the middle, or glitter gold. So I really like how this one looks. Looks really cool. And then this one, which is also one of my favorites, using the limited edition bands for the border and in the center. And then I think these are like the pearl pink lemonade, if I'm not mistaken, from rainbowloom.com. So it does take about 250 bands or so, depending on your wrist size. It is a hook-only design. And without wasting any more time, let's get started. To make this bracelet, you will need any type of hook and one C-clip. We're going to start by making a single chain with our hook, which will be what runs down the center. So the black and mine here. So I'm going to use silicone white. And you will probably need, depending on your wrist size, about 40 lengths, because you do need to make it a little bit bigger because it shrinks as you add the bands on. For the video, I'm going to do less. But just keep in mind 40 roughly is what you'll probably need. So we're going to start by making a cap band like so. And then we're going to grab the next band and we'll just simply pull it through and reattach. Grabbing our next band, we're going to do the same thing. Pulling it through everything on our hook and reattach. And you're just going to keep doing that, creating your single chain until you have your desired length. And I am most confident that pretty much everyone can probably do this part with absolute ease. But just in case, I wanted to show a second or two of it. Just in case. So I'm going to go head off and get mine long enough. And then I will return and show you what to do next. Okay, so once you have your desired length, what you're going to do on the top is either attach a C-clip to secure it for now, or you can simply just make like a nice secure slip knot by pulling the one band through and then give it a nice little tug just to make sure that doesn't fall apart. So that's how I'm going to do it. But again, you can use a C-clip there if you're nervous. Okay, so we're going to come down to the beginning and locate the cap band. And you want it facing the way where you can look through the cap band. Like so. You don't want it this way. You want it this way. So straightening it out. We're going to grab our hook, and just to give you a little insight, after the very first section is going to be just a tad different from the rest, but once we get going, when I say to go in through the loop, it's going to be the right loop right here. So we'll be coming from the side in here like this and picking up the right part of the loop. If you're starting on the left side, it would be the same thing, except it would be the left part of the loop, and we'll be skipping every other link. So let's go ahead and demonstrate. Go ahead and stick your hook up through that cap band like so. And we're going to grab two bands. You're going to grab whatever color you want for the border. So I used black on this one. I'm going to stick with white just so that it matches my center. And then you're going to grab whatever color you want in the design. So you want your border band on the bottom. We're going to pull it through the cap band, reattach it, and you want to make sure that your border band is completely on the outside. So now we're going to come up, picking up your bracelet, making sure that it is not twisted, so you may have to kind of turn your hook like so, making sure it's straight like that. We're going to go through this very first loop and pick up that right band like I just showed you. We're going to now pick up another one of our inner color bands, which is what I'm going to refer to these ones as. So we're going to go through the first two loops. If you're using a different border color, the two loops will not be the same color, but since I am using white, they're the same. So now you'll have 5 bands on your hook. You're going to grab another inner color band. This is now going to go through the first 5 bands on your hook. I'm sorry, 4 bands on your hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And reattach it. And then we're going to bring one more band through these 3, but that's going to be the color of your border that you pull through now. Pull it through those 3 and reattach. So this is what it will look like for the start of each sequence. It will just be that border band. We're going to grab 2 bands of your pattern color or inner color, and that's how it will start off for each sequence with the 2 bands. We're going to go through the first loop on our hook and then reattach it. And you want to make sure they're not twisted at all. We're now going to pick our bracelet up, making sure it's facing straight. This is the last loop we looped through. You can see it pulling there a little bit. So we're going to skip this next link here. Coming up to this link, just grabbing the outer right band right there. So this is where you'll start to notice the pattern of what we'll be doing the whole time. So we're going to grab our inner color band. So this first one is going to go through the first 2 bands that are on our hook. It's important that these are not twisted. So make sure they're laying in the correct order. So that went through the first 2. Grab your next band. This one's going to go through the first 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. That will leave you with these 2 end ones here. Reattach it, so you should have 4 now. You'll know if you did it correctly because this is all one band, that little U shape. So now with the 4 bands remaining, we're going to grab our border band color, and that is going to go through the remaining 4 that is on our hook. So pull them through and reattach. So now we're going to always start, like I said, by grabbing 2 of our pattern colors or whatever you're using, for the inside. So we're going to place that on our hook. That will always come through the first loop on our hook and reattach. Making sure that they are not twisted at all. We're going to go through the next link so you can see where it's pulling there. Make sure your bracelet's straight. We're going to skip the next link here, coming up to this one, going through from the side and picking up that right band. And this is where we're going to pull our first band through here. So this is going to go through only the first 2 bands that are on our hook. Reattach. Should look like that. Make sure that these are not twisted over here. Grab another band. This is going to go through the first 4 bands. And reattach. That should leave 4 like so. And now the last one we pull through will always be the border band color, white for me. And that goes through everything on our hook. Like so. And that is what we're going to do for the entire time. So you can see it starting to form. And as you see, the further we go down, the bracelet is a lot straighter now, so it's pretty easy to identify which direction it's in. So once again, we're going to start by grabbing 2 of our inner colors, going through the first loop. Make sure those are not twisted. Picking up, we're going to skip this next link here, coming up to this one here, picking up only the right band, grabbing my inner color band. It's going to go through the first 2 bands. Should look like that. Our second band will go through the first 4 bands that are on our hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now lastly, it will be our border band going through the last 4. Like so. So we're going to start over again. 2 bands going through the first loop. We're going to skip the next link here, going from the side, grabbing that right band there. Going through only the first 2 bands. Next band, we'll go through the next 4. And last will be our border band going through the remaining 4. Like so. And that's what we're going to do the whole time. Skipping this, I'm trying to make sure I'm straight here. So I'm going to skip this link, come up to this one. Going to go through the first 2. And then we're going to go through the next 4. And then the last one, we'll go through the remaining 4, which will be the color of your border band. Like so. So that is what it should be looking like right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the top of my right side, and then I'll come back and show you how to do the left side. But you may just want to hit pause. I'm going to come back once I reach about the third to the last link, because the very last link is done a little bit different, just for closing purposes. Alrighty guys, so I have completed my right side. So once you have 3 links left, 1, 2, and 3 counting the slip knot at the top, you're going to be like this, but instead of adding the 2 bands on there like we are going to stick our hook in the next link that you would normally go in. So skip this one, grab that link there. We're going to pull 1 through, and we're only going to pull this 1 band through the very first loop. Reattach it, which would make there 4 loops now. We're going to grab another band, and we're going to pull this one through the next 3. Reattach. We now have 3 bands, and we're just going to pull 1 of our border bands through those 3. and reattach. And that just makes the closure just not as wide. So once you do that, we're just going to slip knot it like we did the middle here. Or you can use a C-clip. If you do the slip knot, just make sure it's tight. You do not want to lose that. And then we'll just do that, and we will close it up at the end when we're done the left side. So come back down to the bottom. We're going to now start working on the left side. And just to point out, it's a lot easier to identify which band you're grabbing on the left side because it is the other half of what we've already done. So for example, on this link, we'll be grabbing the left part of the band here, and you can see the right side's attached to that side as well. So that's another way to identify which band it is that we will be grabbing. Okay, so we're going to come down here, and I actually do what Suzanne showed me, basically kind of working upside down, if you will. We're going to come from underneath the bracelet, putting our hook back up in there. Just like we did on the right side, we're going to grab our border color and our pattern color, putting the border color on the bottom. We're going to pull it through the cap band and reattach it. And now holding it like this, it's definitely a lot easier to do off of camera. We're just going to turn our hook, and we need to get through this first loop here. So I'm just going to kind of swing down and pick that loop up right there. You can just double check to make sure that it's pulling on the same loop that your right side's in. You're going to grab your first band, and this first section's different, remember. So it's going to go through the first two, which will both be white for me. We're going to grab our next band, which is going to go through the first four. And then our border color is going to go through the first three, or the last three. So this is the start of our sequence again. So we're going to start by grabbing two of our inner colors. Just like before, this is going to go through that first link and reattach it. We're going to come down here and locate our next link. So we'll be skipping that one and grabbing onto that one. As you can see, I'm on the right loop because it's on the other side of it. Grabbing my first band. That's going to go through the first two. Like so. The next one's going to go through the first four. So it looks like that. And now we're going to bring through our border, which goes through the last four. Okay, so this is what it is looking like right now. I love it, and you can see where it's pulling it apart, so you can just keep checking to make sure you're not grabbing the wrong band in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the top, and then you're going to do the left side exactly like we did over here, and then I'll show you guys how to get it closed up. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I have reached the very top. So I did notice that I made a mistake here at the end. I did not skip a link. So I do have right here, I should have skipped that one, and I didn't. So you guys may have noticed that when I was doing the right side. So sorry about that. But we're going to act like that didn't happen and continue. So again, like we did on the opposite side, I have 3 links. So I have the 2 or the 1 border band here to start my next sequence. I have 3 inner loops left, counting the slip knot at 1. So instead of starting our sequence pulling 2 bands through, we are simply going to skip the next link here. We're going to pick up the outside band, the right band right there. We're going to pull 1 band through only the first loop. We're going to grab another one of those same color bands, and we're going to pull this through the first 3 loops. And then our last band is going to be the border color, and it's going to go through the remaining 3. Like so. And that is our very last link, so we can now actually close it up. Now I like to, and you don't have to do it this way, and I really don't know if it makes a difference, but I know that this is the back and I want to be working from the front. So I'm going to slip knot that off just for a second. Turn my bracelet around so that it's facing me. And I love this design. So I'm going to come up to the top here. I'm going to undo this right side very carefully. Put my hook in it. Like so. I'm going to come to the middle here, and I'm very carefully going to undo that one. And then I'm going to reach from behind. I'm not going to go this way. I'm going to put my hook behind it and come through that link, putting that on my hook. And now I will undo this one, and we will do the same thing. Coming from behind, I'm going to place that on my hook. So it should look like that with the 6 links on your hook. And now we're just simply going to slide 1 band through all of them. I'm going to use white so it matches. And we will do like so. Voila. And of course that is where we would attach our C-clip. So I actually don't have a C-clip right next to me, but I'm sure you guys know you just clip it there, come down to the bottom and clip it to your cap band, and voila. So there you have it, the completed antique lace bracelet created by the very talented Suzanne HB. You can also find her on Instagram as Crazy Just Might Work. I really love this design. I think she did an awesome job on it. I really thought it was a Loom design when I first seen it. So if you do like this design, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, you can also hit that subscribe button below. That way you can stay up to date with all of my tutorials. If you do make this beautiful bracelet, please tag myself, Loves to Loom, as well as Crazy Just Might Work on Instagram so we can see your lovely renditions of it. So I do appreciate you watching another tutorial, and I will see you all at my next video. Thanks guys, bye!